Have you ever met somebody and thought, uh, nope, no thanks, and you only made that decision in 2 seconds? Let's talk about why that is detrimental, not just because it's unfair to that person, but it's stopping you from connection. It's stopping you from growth, stopping you from moving forward in your own life. Let's talk about why judging a book by its cover can be holding you back even more than you can imagine. By training, I'm a pediatric physical therapist. So I interact with parents every day, all the time, interact with kids, helping them reach their goals. They may have developmental delays or diagnoses where they need help. And so I evaluate and treat them, which is very rewarding and challenging at the same time. Now, one of the things that I like to do is interact with the families. And sometimes we have parents that come, grandparents that come, all of that. And one thing I did the other day was I made a little bit of an assumption, which is not the best thing to do when you're interacting with parents and grandparents. And what I ended up doing was grabbing a chair because of how my work's environment is set up. I work a lot of time either on a mat table or the floor, depending on how old the child is, if they're a baby, or if they can walk, all of that. So a baby came in to see me. They were with the mom and the grandmother. And I immediately got a chair for the grandmother to sit on. And I asked the mom to have a seat on the mat with me on the floor. And so I just assumed she's young, she's going to sit on the floor fine. Well, the grandmother seemed a little bit more spry, as they would say, or a little bit more mobile than the mother. But by then it was too late. I'd only gotten one chair and I had given it to the grandmother, and the mother was getting on the floor, which is fine. She didn't say anything. But then again, sometimes people won't say anything if they're uncomfortable. Now, maybe when she left, she was like, that girl had me sit on the floor and I can't sit on the floor, or it's hard for me to get on the floor, that kind of thing. So we always have to be careful and not just look at people's outward appearance. Maybe dig a little deeper and find out, like, would you like a chair? I'm going to get your mother a chair. Do you need a chair as well? Not just assume that people can be a certain way based on age or based on the way they look, based on the way they dress, all of that, because you're closing yourself off on an interaction that could potentially be great for you. You may even find some new friends that way if you're open to other people. What you have to understand is, do you always go out of the house looking your best? I know some of us try to, but there are those times where we have to run out and we're not even all the way put together. And if somebody was to base their interaction with us on the way we look every day, all the time, they might run the other way as well. So it's like, give people grace, give people understanding, because everybody's not always having an A+ day. Everybody's not always able to put their best foot forward because of things that they may be dealing with, or things that are going on in their environment, or things that are going on in their house. Like, you're going to give yourself some grace. I say grant that grace to other people as well. And then when you're looking at other people, not judging based on how they look, or not judging based on age, or not judging based on profession, or not judging on where somebody lives. All of those things hinder you from interacting. And that's one of the things that I think has happened with us becoming so technologically savvy or technologically advanced, is we cut ourselves off from people. We don't have to interact with people. We don't have to see people face to face. We can look at people on a device, or we can look at, not even at them eye to eye, we can look at them through screens and through images and through videos, like now, where we can still just talk, but we don't necessarily have to talk in person. And so that has cost us a lot of connecting. And I think that has also created some bit of loneliness for us as a society and as a people, because we are looking at each other, but we're not looking at each other. And we are interacting with each other, but we're not interacting with each other, because you'd only have to go so far if you're not in front of a person, or you only have to go so far if you're not able to really interact on a regular basis or really get to know that person because they guard some information, all of that kind of thing. Or you might not even be able to support them when they need support because they don't tell you. When you think about somebody that is successful, you maybe have an image in your head of how they look, like how they dress, what they might drive, where they might live. But a lot of successful people don't fit that mold. A lot of successful people, you would not even know how much money they make, or where they could live because they decide to live somewhere else, or what they would drive if they wanted you to see what they could drive. They may just drive what they drive because they enjoy it, or they drive what they drive because it's great on gas, that kind of thing. And so when we look at people, we have to go beyond the physical. We have to go beyond what they have in their possession, and we have to go beyond what we think we see. People are so much more than the outward appearance. They're so much more than what meets the eye. And I think we need to grant each other enough grace and desire to go beyond the surface level. Like, we want people to think that, oh, I am intelligent. Oh, I really have a lot of things that I could offer you. Why shouldn't I assume that and think that about somebody else? Why couldn't I think that about you, that you have a lot to offer, that you have a lot that you're thinking about? Like, you are beyond just what I could see with my eyes and a brief interaction. So understand that people are complex, and understanding that everybody is different, but everybody plays an important part, and everybody has something to offer this world. Everybody is important. So just when you interact with people and you go out tomorrow and you meet somebody new, don't just shut them off because they're different than you. Don't just judge them based on how they look or where they've come from or the car that they just got out of. Judge them and look at them and interact with them based on who they present themselves to you for. Look at people and interact with them based on how they present themselves to you and the interactions that you have with them, not based on how they look or not based on where they're from or the things that they have in their life, but who they are as a person and how they treat you. Because we all know the golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated. That's the golden rule. So when you think about that, how do you want to be treated? How do you want to be perceived? That's the same grace and interaction that you should have with somebody else. You want them to be treated well by you. I'm so glad you made it to this part of the video. I'm so thankful, like, you supporting me, you coming on and interacting with me. I look forward to reading your comments about this video, because this is one of those things that it causes us to have to go beyond ourselves when we interact with people and look beyond how they look on the outside, because everybody's got a little bit gold in them. All right, take care. See you in the next video. Bye.